What is the weightage of this part of logical reasoning in the exam? So this is a pretty important topic. I mean, both the topics are pretty important. You will definitely get at least one set or one question from these two topics. Okay, that's for sure. And in the past years, out of the 20 questions of LR, around 5 to 6 questions from these two topics. So there was one set of sitting arrangement that consisted of 3 to 4 questions. Okay, and then you had singlets of letters and number series based. Okay, so overall you can expect that 1 out of every 4 questions of LR is going to be based on this, so which makes it very important one. Okay, now in the case of sitting arrangement, there are mainly 2 types of sitting arrangement questions that you get. One is linear sitting arrangement and the other one is circular. So in the case of the linear arrangement, we are supposed to place the people in a row, right? And in linear arrangement, when you arrange them, it's going to be based on direction, north, south, east, west, or it's going to be based on the reference direction, as in left and right, front and behind. Okay. In the case of circular arrangements, when people are going to be seated around a circular table, that's the standard. So when you have odd number of people, nobody is sitting opposite to each other. But when you have even number of people, there is exactly one person definitely sitting opposite to someone or the other, right? And in the case of number and letter series, you will be given a sequence which will be made up of only letters, only numbers, or maybe a combination of both. So for that, there is one particular thing that is very important for you to follow is write down the series A to Z in this format the moment the exam starts. Okay, take out your rough sheet and write down A to M, which is first 13 letters in this order, and then you write down the remaining 13 letters in the reverse order from right to left. So this is something that you should write it beforehand as in not before the exam. Okay, once you get the rough sheet and the exam starts, do this because you will definitely get question from there. So in the mid of the exam, don't waste your time writing it down. Pehle hi kar lo aap. theek hai? And in the sequences of numbers and or letter series, sometimes you also get questions based on odd one out. So among the series, there will be a particular string or a number that will be different from the rest. So you need to find out which one is a different one. Now, having known, what are these 2 topic types, let's start solving questions. Okay. So when it comes to number and letter series, you get different series, product, squares and cubes, miscellaneous, and a combination series. We will look into all of these types very soon. So let's solve some problems. So the first question is, 6 people A to F are sitting in a row facing north. 3 people sit between F and A. C sits to the immediate left of F. 2 persons sit between C and B. How many people sit to the left of B? So I will be giving you guys around a minute's time. Okay. So you can let me know. What would be the answer? Yeah. Good evening, Aman. So we have 6 people that are seated facing north. So place 6 blank places, right? First statement says the information part that 3 people sit between F and E. So we are going to have 2 possibilities, F, 3 people and then an E, or we can have E, 3 people and then an F. These are the 2 possibilities. Now the next point says C sits to the immediate left of F. So in the first one, C is going to be seated here to the immediate left of F. And in the next one, C is going to be seated here to the immediate left of F, right? 2 people sit between C and B. If I look at the first case and if I make B sit to the left of C, that will be difficult, right? Because we don't have enough spaces. 6 log already ho chuke hain. So if there are 2 people sitting between C and B, the only place I can put B is going to be here. So that 2 people are seated between C and B. If I take the next scenario, the second one, if I try to put B to the left of C, that is already occupied by E. So I can't put B to the left of C, right? So in this case, I will have to put B to the right of C. Now, once this is done, you will realize that there are going to be now 7 people and not 6, which is not going to happen. That means we need to follow the first scenario. Okay. So we will be writing down C, F, blank, B, blank, and E. So this is the sequence. Question is, how many people sit to the left of B? B ke left mein 1, 2, 3. So there are 3 people who sit to the left of B. C option, right? Okay. Second question. A, B, C, E, F, and G are seated in a straight line facing north. C is seated third to the right of G, and B is sitting second to the right of C. E is sitting to the immediate right of A. So there are certain statements. Now the question is, which of the following represents a pair of people sitting at the extreme ends of the line? We have 4 definite options. We don't have an option which says cannot be determined, which tells us whatever sequence we are going to have, it's going to follow precisely, as in it's going to be a complete scenario. Cases nahi banne wale, right? So, hold on, do we have set best? Right. Okay, no, we have a different question. So we have 6 people. Okay, let me, while you solve this, let me simply copy paste the data from the first one. Right. Fine. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 people are seated in a straight line facing north. So again, we have these 6 people. Now C is sitting third to the right of Gagan. So if I place Gagan or G here, third to the right of Gagan, this is first right, second right, third right, and this is where C is going to be seated. So that's the first statement. The second statement says B is sitting second to the right of C. Second to the right of C, this is first to the right of C. This is second to the right of C. So this is where B is going to be seated. Okay. Next, E is sitting to the immediate right of A. Now, if you count the number of people we already have, we have a total of 6 people so far out of these 6 people that we're supposed to put. So let's place them over here. Sorry. G, blank, blank, C, blank, and B. Should we go ahead and put where Isha and Aman are going to be? No. Question simply asks us which of the following pair of people are going to be seated at the extreme ends. We very much are sure that it's going to be G and B. So G and B is what we have here, right? B and G, Barun and Gagan. Okay. The next one. 6 people are A to F are sitting around a circular table now facing towards the center. That's a good thing. We know that everybody is facing in the same direction towards the same point. Now B sits third to the right of A, C sits second to the left of B, and so on and so forth. Final question is who sits third to the left of F? तो क्या करेंगे? एक circular table बनाएंगे. Then we will place 6 positions which should be equidistant. They should be symmetrical in nature. Now, the first statement says B sits third to the right of A. So we need to place E first. Suppose if I place E first, then third to the right of E, first right, second right, third right. So this is where B is going to be seated. Third to the right, या third to the left, 6 लोगों में, it will be diametrically opposite, right? Next, C sits second to the left of B. We already have B, right? So B ka left is what we want, and that is second to the left. So first left and second left, this is where C is going to be seated, right? Next, only one person sit between C and A. Now, if I try to put A to the right of C, that's already occupied by B. So that means A has to be seated to the left of C, so that there is only one person E who is sitting between C and A, right? Next, D is not sitting adjacent to A. So if D is not adjacent to A, this is the only place D can go. Now the leftover letter that has not been filled is F. So F goes to the immediate left of A. Question is, who sits third to the left of F? Remember, third to the left ho, या third to the right ho, it's always going to be the diametrically opposite person. So it's going to be C. So option D, C sits third to the left of F. Right? Okay. The next question. 8 persons are sitting around a circle facing the center. So C is sitting fourth to the left of F, who is sitting fifth to the right of E. Dheeraj is sitting third to the right of A, who is not even immediate neighbor, and so on and so forth. So there are a lot of information. There are 8 people now. So the question is, which of the following pairs sit between them? Then the next question is sitting opposite to Dheeraj, right? So we have, this is a set-based question. We don't have individual question from here. So we need to fill this up. So we need to draw a circle, and there are 8 people that are going to be seated. So we will make 8 positions such that they are completely symmetrical. Now, first statement says, Cameron is sitting fourth to the left of F. So where is F? Either rakh dete hain, kahin bhi rakh lo, doesn't matter. Now, C is sitting fourth to the left, first, second, third, fourth. In the case of 6 people, third to the left was diametrically opposite. So 8 people mein, fourth to the left or fourth to the right will be diametrically opposite. That's exactly what we get here, right? Now, since there is a comma, so this who is about Farhan. Farhan is sitting fifth to the right of Isha, right? So Isha ke perspective se, if Farhan is sitting fifth to the right of Isha, that means Isha is sitting fifth to the left of Farhan. So this is first left, second, third, fourth, fifth. So this is where Isha should be sitting, such that Isha's right, first right, second, third, fourth, fifth. That's where Farhan will be seated. Next, Dheeraj is sitting third to the right of Akansha, who is not an immediate neighbor of Isha or Farhan. See, again we have a comma, that means Akansha should not be an immediate neighbor of Isha or Farhan. So Akansha can't be seated here, Akansha can't be seated here, Akansha can't be seated here. So Akansha have these 2 places to go, right? किसी एक जगह से शुरू करते हैं. Suppose Akansha goes here, then Dheeraj is sitting third to the right of Akansha. So first right of Akansha, second right is Farhan, third right is where Dheeraj will go, right? What if I don't take Akansha at this point, but if I move Akansha here? If Akansha sits here, then her third to the right is going to be a position which is already occupied by Farhan. So Akansha can't be seated over here. The only place Akansha can now go is 9 o'clock, the west direction, and Dheeraj goes here, right? So we are done with the next statement as well. Next, Bhavna is sitting third to the left of Hitesh. There is again a comma. So this who is about Hitesh. So Hitesh is not an immediate neighbor of Isha. If Hitesh is not an immediate neighbor of Isha, so Hitesh can't be seated here. Hitesh has 2 places to go. किसी एक जगह से शुरू करते हैं. Suppose Hitesh sits here. If Hitesh sits there, then Bhavna is sitting third to the left of Hitesh. First left, second left, third left of Hitesh. Occupied already by C, Cameron, right? So Hitesh can't be seated over here. So Hitesh, if he goes here, the leftover position, the last place for Hitesh, then Hitesh's third left, first left, second left, and third left is going to be this place adjacent to Isha. So this is where Bhavna will go and sit, right? Okay. Next, one of the persons named is Gauri. So we don't see G so far. So there is only one place where G can go. This is where it will go, right? Okay. Now, let's look at the questions. The first question says, which of the following pairs are sitting between Akansha and Dheeraj? So between Akansha and Dheeraj, which are the 2 people seated? Pair, right? Do log. Pair matlab do. It's G and F, Gauri and Farhan. So it's going to be Gauri and Farhan. Option D. Right? Okay. Next question is, who among the following is sitting opposite to Dheeraj? So Dheeraj के opposite बैठने वाला कौन है? So Dheeraj is seated here. His opposite is going to be H. I think the H was for Hitesh. Yes. So Hitesh is seated directly opposite to or diametrically opposite to Dheeraj. So opposite to Dheeraj में Hitesh बैठ रहा है. Option B. Okay. Now, again, a new set, right? So let's see if it's a singlet or is it a set based. So we have one question here. Then we have, there is only one question related to it, right? 6 people are seated around a rectangular table. Now a rectangular table is it's a symmetrical table. It's not square or circular where every edge is symmetrical, right? Here rectangular table, the longer sides are going to be symmetrical while the shorter ones are going to be symmetrical. The longer and shorter, they are going to be different, right? Now, 2 people are seated on each of the longer side, 1 person is sitting on each of the shorter side, and so on and so forth. There are 6 people that have to be seated, right? And who among the following is sitting opposite to D? Now, since we have a rectangle, we need to first of all find out how are these 6 people seated. Shorter side पे कितने लोग हैं, longer side पे कितने हैं? We need to find out that. So it says 2 persons are sitting on each of the longer side. So there are 2 people seated on the longer side and 1 person is sitting on each of the shorter side. So this is how they are going to be seated. We'll mark it. ठीक है? अब आगे का information is about who is sitting where. So let's look at the question. So we have a rectangular table. Draw a proper rectangular table. एकदम छोटा भी मत बनाना कि नाम लिखने में फिर सब कंफ्यूज हो जाए, हौच पौच हो जाए, right? F is sitting second to the right of A, comma, who is sitting? That means this who is about A. That means A is sitting on one of the longer sides. Suppose A is sitting on one of the longer sides, इधर बैठ रहा है या ऊपर बैठ रहा है, doesn't matter, symmetrical, right? Now F is sitting second to the right of A. A का second to the right will be here. And if A is sitting here, then second to the right will be here. So there are 2 possibilities right now. We don't know where to put. 2 cases बनेंगे, अभी ignore करते हैं. Next, A and E are sitting opposite to each other, right? Now, suppose if I make A sit over here, then F is sitting second to the right. This is where F is going to be seated. Then the next statement will not make sense, no? That A and E are sitting opposite to each other because abhi A and F are sitting opposite. So of course I can't take A at this point. I'll have to move A to the left side, the left seat. So when A moves to the left seat, then F goes here and opposite to A we are going to have E. So we have the first statement done. In the second statement is also done. The next is B, who is sitting on the longer side. So B sitting on the longer side. Where is B seated? 2 possibilities. Beside E or beside A, right? Is sitting adjacent to E. So obviously it's seated along with E because it says he is sitting adjacent to E. So ये cover हो गया. C is sitting on one of the shorter sides. So C is seated here. There is only 1 person left. Only 1 letter to be placed and 1 position left. That's going to be D, right? D अभी तक नहीं लिखा है, so let's place D. Now the question is, who is sitting opposite to D? Opposite to D, the person who is seated is B. So option C is going to be the answer. So these are the types of seating arrangement questions you are going to expect, which are going to be very, very straightforward. These statements are not always jumbled up. They are going to be in a sequence that if you follow them one by one, eventually, slowly, everything will be figured out. Okay, it's not that the first statement will give you some information which is related to the 4th statement. That happens rarely. Okay, good everyone, good. Now, questions based on numbers and letter series, another important topic. Minimum 1 question you can expect from here. You can have as many as 3 to 4 questions from numbers and letter series. Encoding decoding से थोड़ा हटके भी है ये थोड़ा. I mean, it's similar to encoding decoding, but it's always the series that we are talking about. It's not always going to be in pairs. Okay. So the first one, 643, 645, 633, 609, 561, 465. I would like you guys to quickly tell me which is the correct option. चलो मेरे को बताओ, ये ज्यादा क्लियर दिख रहा है, आप इधर से बता दो. And if possible, also tell me if you have figured out, what is happening. How is this series getting formed? Let's see. And everyone, please make sure that you like the session. एक like दबा दो बस. And if you guys haven't subscribed, anyone who's watching, please make sure that you subscribe. So, if you look at the pattern, 645 to 633, the first thing that should strike is the difference, right? So, 45 to 33, what is the difference? It reduces by 12. 633 to 609, by how much does it reduce? It reduces by 24. 609 to 561, by what value does it reduce? It reduces by 48. 561 to 465, कितने से कम हो गया? It reduces by 96. So going by this pattern, the differences are getting doubled. 12 का double 24, 24 का double 48, 48 का double 96. So next the double of 96 is going to be 192. So if you subtract 465 minus 192, I don't have to subtract everything. Just 5 minus 2 itself is enough for me to figure out that the answer is going to be C option, 273, right? So option is going to be C. The difference is getting doubled every time. Correct, Mayank. Right. Good, good, everyone. Everyone, very good. Chalo. Next wala batao ab. What is going to be the next term, the last one? 135, then 138, then 147, 174, 255. Ab kya chal raha hai? Now what is happening? Of course, the values are increasing, isn't it? So difference dekho pehle aap. Difference works out great. If difference doesn't work out, see how far they are. Is it related to cubes or squares or product of two consecutive numbers? Kuch to ho raha hoga. Does it have to do with prime numbers, odd, even, multiple of something? देखिए सबने क्या आंसर करा है. अच्छा अभी तक आंसर. Difference is increasing by the powers of 3. Okay. So this is an increase of 3. 138 to 147, this is 9, which is 3 square. 147 to 174, this is an increase of 27. 174 to 255, that's an increase of 81. Right? So 3 ka powers बढ़ रहा है. Or we can say that the difference is getting tripled, also known as trebled, right? 3 into 3, 9, 9 into 3, 27, 27 into 3, 81, 81 into 3, 243. Now 255 plus 243, we are pretty sure the answer is going to be less than 500 and it will end in 8. So B hona chahiye answer. Another way to look at it is if everything is, the numbers that you are adding is in powers of 3, which is also in the table of 3. And if each of the numbers is in the table of 3, तो फाइनल आंसर भी 3 के टेबल में होना चाहिए ना. This is the only number out of the 4 options which is in the table of 3. डिजिट्स ऐड करो, यही है बस, और कोई नहीं है जो 3 के टेबल में इधर. ठीक है. Okay, so B is the answer as you guys suggested. Good. Next wala. One of the values is wrong. Okay, it's not now completion, it's more about odd one out. So which one is wrong and why? As in, kya pattern follow ho raha tha which it did not actually follow? Looking at how it went from a 2-digit number pattern quickly to a 3-digit number and very quickly to a 4-digit number, looks like it has to do with powers of numbers. It's not the difference which is constant. Difference जो होगा वो powers of numbers में होगा, है ना? So 22 to 23, this is an increase of just 1. 23 to 31, this is an increase of 8. 31 to 58, this is an increase of 27. 58 to 184, this is an increase of 126. 184 to 526, this is an increase of 342. 526 to 1857, this is an increase of hold on. $1,331. Okay. So if you look at the differences happening, 1, 8, 27, 126, 342, and 1331. These are nothing but cubes of numbers. किन numbers का cube है? This is cube of 1, this is cube of 2, this is cube of 3. This is very close to cube of 5, right? So 5 का cube तो actually 125 होता है, so it is 1 more than that. 343 is cube of 7, so it is actually 343 minus 1, and this is 11 ka cube, exactly. So the problem lies between them, as in instead of 126 had this been 125, so this will automatically become 343. So ये दोनों sense बनेगा, right? One moves to the other side, automatically the other side gets adjusted, right? So I'm saying if this had not been 126 but 125, that would have made this as 183. And if this is 183, the next jump would have automatically become 343, which is cube of 7. So these are nothing but cubes of non-composite numbers. Prime numbers का cube नहीं है guys, non-composite numbers का cube है. Because prime numbers तो 2 से शुरू होता है, 1 से नहीं होता. Right? So these all values are not prime numbers, these are not composite numbers. So going by that logic, we should not have 184, we should actually have 183 over there. That means the problem lies in that number 184. So the answer is going to be B. Right? B is the answer. Good, everyone who has answered. Next one. Again, you need to find out where is the problem. 2, 3, 9, 27, 112, 565, 33, 96. Again, the values are increasing so quickly from a single digit to double digit and then triple, then 4-digit number. It has to do again with the powers. पर किस तरह के values का powers? ये जरूरी है. ये फाइंड आउट करना है. 2 to 3, 1, 3 to 9, 6, 9 to 27, 18, 27 to 112. This is going to be a lot. So this is going to be 85. 112 to 565. This is going to be 443. And 565 to 3396, which is going to be 2700. नहीं 2771. अच्छा नहीं 27 28 हो जाएगा, sorry. So this is going to be 2831. 2831. So there is a change of 1, then there is a change of 6, there is a change of 18, there is a change of 85, there is a change of 453, sorry, not 43. This is 453. And then there is a change of 2831. So where does the problem lie? 2831. अच्छा नहीं, you were giving me the answer most probably. गड़बड़ किधर है? The difference is not making sense, is it? डिफरेंस में तो कोई पैटर्न नहीं है, कुछ और चल रहा है. Anyone? The values are increasing very quickly. नहीं? देखो ऐसे है. If I take the first number 2, if I multiply it by 1 and add 1, this will give me 3, the next number. अब 3 में अगर आप डबल कर दो और 2 ऐड कर दो, this is going to give me 8. 8 में triple and then add 3, this is going to give you 27. 27 में 4 times plus 4, 27 into 4 is 108, plus 4 is going to be 112. 112 into 5 plus 5. Now 112 into 5 is going to be 560, right? Plus 5 is 565. अब 565 into 6 plus 6 कर लो आप. So this is going to give you 3396. So you can see that the sequence is it was supposed to be 2, 3, 8, 27, 112, 565, 3396. तो प्रॉब्लम आपका इधर है, ऑप्शन ए. नाउ क्वेश्चन अराइजेस, हाउ डिड इट स्ट्राइक मी? क्योंकि आप लोगों को टाइम लग रहा था. यू विल लुकिंग एट द डिफरेंसेस एंड द पावर्स, डिफरेंसेस का डिफरेंसेस. सो द वे इट स्ट्रक मी वाज, रिमेंबर दिस लॉजिक. इफ यू हैव नंबर्स इन अ सीरीज such that the values increase drastically, दो ही चीजें हो सकती हैं. The first possibility is that the differences are in powers of a certain number, 2 का power, 3 का power, double, triple. Or the second possibility is every number is related to the previous one. These are the only two scenarios where the values will increase drastically. Like I said, the values are increasing drastically. We looked at the differences, did not work out. तो अब यही ऑप्शन बचता है कि आप 3 को 2 से रिलेट करो. In the same way, try to relate 9 with 3. In the same way, relate 27 by 9. In the same way, relate 112 by 27. So while I was relating in my mind, what I realized was 27 to 112 is a calculation I can do. 27 का टेबल पढ़ सकते हैं, 112 का टेबल is not easy, right? So I tried to find out the relation between them. And I realized that had this been 28, then we can say 28 into 4 is 112, right? In the same way, 27 into 4 करा तो 112 आया. तो अब अगली बार 112 नहीं, 113 into 5 should give me 565, and it worked out. So if I write 28 as 27 plus 1 so that I can see the number 27, तो ये मेरे को दे देता है 27 into 4 plus 4. And once I wrote down 113 as 112 plus 1 into 5 और इसको solve करा तो 112 into 5 plus 5. So I got the pattern कि क्या चल रहा है. We are looking at a particular term, multiplying it with a number and then adding the same number to get the next number. And the numbers we are multiplying and adding, it starts with 1. So use that logic and realize 2 and 3 will also make sense. मेरे को 2 into 1 plus 1 करूंगा तभी 3 बन जाएगा. Double, if I do, I'll have to subtract, but subtraction was not happening between 27 and 112. Add करना है कुछ. So 27 into 1 plus 1 makes sense. It made sense. 3 into 2 plus 2 made sense. और 8 से 27 भी वैसे ही जाएगा. ये पता चल गया. Okay. So sometimes you will come across such kind of questions where it will not strike very quickly. So you need to have certain logic. Logic here being कि values drastically increase इन्हीं दो scenarios में होते हैं. पहला वर्क कर गया, great. नहीं किया, second ही use करोगे. ठीक है? So the answer is 9. 9 has the issue here. Okay. Try the next one. Okay, hold on. यहाँ पे options में गड़बड़ी है. Option गड़बड़ी है. Try this one. Sorry. Yeah, try this one. What should come in place of question mark in the following series? DF, GI, JL, MO. So you have to complete this series. ठीक है. Letter में थोड़ा if you have practiced a lot of questions, you may be very fluent in this, right? मतलब English alphabet पढ़ना मुश्किल नहीं होगा. Some of you may already know that what comes before S and after S, what comes before U and after U. You don't have to every time read starting with A, right? So we have D, E is missing, then you have F, then G is there, continuous, then H is missing, you have I, J, K is missing, L, M, N is missing, O. Then you should have a P, और उसके बाद Q miss हो जाना चाहिए, and then you need to have an R, right? So PR should be the answer. Right, good, B is the answer, correct, correct. Chalo, next one. What should come in the place of the question mark? Again, a letter series. GJ, MP, SV, YB. If you remember, मैंने बोला कि ये लिख लिया करना हमेशा. Always keep it right next to you whenever you're solving questions related to letter series. A to Z. Okay, so here it goes. If you look at the first letters, they are increasing. G, M, S, Y. कैसे increase कर रहे हैं? G, M. So there is a gap of 5 letters. Then we have S. There is a gap of 5 letters. Then we have Y. There is a gap of 5 letters. And then we should have gap of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 letters, and it should start with an E. है ना? We are moving like this. 5 letters. It's always cyclic. After Z, you come back to A. So my next string or the next word should start with E. If you're confident enough in this, you can go ahead and mark the option. दूसरा letter check करके time waste नहीं करते. ठीक है? यही होना चाहिए answer, I believe. Right, good. Everyone has answered A. Let's hope it's A. It's A. A. Okay, next. Which of the following alpha numerical will replace the question mark? Again, you have to complete this series here. The string is made up of both the letters as well as the digits or the numbers. क्या चल रहा है? So we have got ZOF, then we have 1, then something is a miss, then we have VKJ 9 till 13, RGN 25. So sorry. Why do we have a 13 there? We are pretty sure that the answer will start with X. We are pretty sure the last digit will be 4. The second letter is going to be M or N, and the third letter is going to be I or H. This is the combination we have. But if I look at the numbers, it's 1, 4, 9, 13 में छोड़ देते हैं, ठीक है? We are pretty sure कि 4 ही होगा ना. Let's not try to find any logic over there. Only find out the word. XMH, XMI, XNH, XNI. इन सब में से क्या होने वाला है? So I will be writing down again. So we have E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. So we have Z, O, F. It will be difficult to look at every word. एक काम करते हैं, let's look at the first letters of every word. So we have Z, then we are definitely going to have X. Look at the options. Then we are going to have a V, then we have a T, then we have an R. So there is a gap of 1 letter in the initial ones. Okay, now let's look at the second letters. O is there. Then something is a miss. Then we have K. So if I take O N K, that can also make sense. If I take O M K, that will make more sense. है ना? देख लेते हैं. Then we have I, and then we have G. So of course there is a gap of single letter, so it should be O M K I G in the reverse order. So ये M होना चाहिए. We are pretty sure B and D can't be the answer. The next one is the third letter. Is it going to be I or is it going to be H? So let's look at the last letter. So it's F. We don't know the next one. Then we have J. So it's actually moving ahead in the alphabet. Then we have L. Then we have N. So it's moving in the sequence of alphabet. So there should be a gap of single letters, right? Then only it will make complete sense. It's going to be a pattern in this case. So the third letter should be H. So XMH makes sense. Option A should be our answer, right? Good, Sneha, Aman, Mayank, Yamini. Good guys. Very good. So